If you're like most Cabinet Vision users, you may be a little bit skittish about moving to the newest version. Either that's because you're afraid some of your settings might get changed over, or you're afraid that some things aren't going to work in the new version like they worked in the old version. Maybe you're afraid that there's going to be changes in speed or stability. Well, I am here to put your worries at ease. This is my top 5 reasons why I think you should move to the newest version of Cabinet Vision 2024 within this year. If you haven't watched any of my videos before, my name is Spencer Baker. I'm a woodworker and a Cabinet Vision expert, and I am the lead guy over here at Cabinet Vision Made Simple, the channel specifically dedicated to making your transition into the Cabinet Vision world simple and easy so you can get down to business. A few things to know is that on version 2021, whenever it came out, all of the licensing changed to something called Reimagined, which essentially means that they broke down each one of these licenses that used to be standard, advanced, ultimate, into a series of modules so that you can start with the core functionality of everything and you only have to pay a la carte for the advanced features that you know you want. So, as a result of that, the movement to the new versions of the software can sometimes feel scary or intimidating, and I'm here to reassure you and make sure that you know it's not that scary. And for that, I thought that it would be helpful for me to start making new videos that showed the reasons why I would move to the newest and nicest versions of Cabinet Vision so that you never get left in the dust. With all that said, here are my top 5 reasons to move to version 2024 this year.
Number 1 is the obvious speed improvements within the S2M Center. What I did was I ran a job that had roughly 22 cabinets in there. Then I went to the S2M Center and I went ahead and optimized that job for the S2M Center so that it would do all of the nesting necessary for me to put it on my CNC machine. I went ahead and ran the timer, and in 2023, it went about 2.5 minutes. Then I went to 2024 and I opened the identical job and I tried the same thing. Now, the thing to remember with Cabinet Vision is that it's doing thousands and thousands of operations when you're doing this. So it's compiling all of the parts and moving them around so that it will give you the most effective yield on your material. So at the end of this, in 2024, it looked to be about 1.5 minutes. So it cut about 1 minute off, which is pretty awesome. It doesn't sound like much, but whenever you start getting into those bigger jobs, it makes a huge, huge difference. Number 2 is this handy dandy little replace button. So let's say hypothetically that we're in this room right here, pretty ugly, but that doesn't have to be pretty for this example. But let's say I wanted to take this drawer stack and I wanted to turn it into another matching double door, double drawer system. So I can right click now and there's a nice little replace button. And it will give you your catalog over to the left. You can come over here and you can grab whatever you want. And then there's a plus button. Once you click that plus button, it will automatically snap that in there and match all of the parameters that it originally had. So that will prevent you from having to delete it, grab one, drag and drop it in here, and hope that everything sticks the way that you want it to do it. It's small, but it's super helpful if you're working on big jobs and you want to just get something swapped out fast, especially if you're working with a client right there on the spot. You can just click the replace tool and get it exactly how you want it. Number 3, names and dimensions on nests. Now, this is another small one, but something that I find to be super helpful if I'm working on a job where there's 1 million parts that all look pretty much identical. You can go to your nest in the S2M Center, you can right click for the properties, and then now you've got show part name right here. So now you'll have the name for every single part listed in addition to having it over here on the side. If I also want the sizes for those parts, I can now do that as well. So I can right click and I can show the part sizes, which also gives me some lengths and widths, which makes it super duper helpful just so that I can cross-reference and check and make sure everything looks how it's supposed to be and that saves me from having to go back and forth at any time. Number 4, 2D CAD hatching. So you may have known this. I think this was a feature that came out in 2023, that you now have the ability to get all these different colors within your 2D CAD hatching. But now you can draw multiple rectangles or multiple shapes. And if you're trying to maybe demonstrate 2 different features or functions on this hatching to show somebody like different backsplash options or demonstrate that there's going to be a shelf in there, you can select the hatching and you can click it, or you can go in here with the hatch options and they have different ones. This one says ignore the nest. This one would allow it to show you just the outside. And now if I draw, if it'll let me, draw a quick rectangle in here. So now I have 3 rectangles. I can set the setting to nest inside of both. So no longer do you have to struggle with these different boundaries and trying to make 2 different hatches work and different things like that. So it's a super handy little tool that I enjoy using for all kinds of different uses, but this will allow it to either highlight everything, highlight just the inside, or nest all 3 together. You can also draw a boundary across here so that you can highlight just what you want to highlight and you don't have to fuss with all the others. Number 5, using the clipboard within Microsoft. So there is a way that you can use the snipping tool. Say if I'm on a drawing and I want to show some different accessories or hardware, I can select the Windows tool. So it's Shift Windows S is the snipping tool. Then you can highlight these different shapes within here and it'll automatically go to your clipboard. Now, if you don't know how to access the clipboard, you just do the window button and V, and it will give you your little clipboard at the end. So if you did a bunch of copy and paste, you did a bunch at the same time. Now I have this little chart at the bottom. I can go to my drawings, go to CAD, and then I should be able to pull up that clipboard tool and just drag and drop all these different shapes in here. Super helpful and handy so that you don't have to go back and forth grabbing something from the tooling and then importing the image and then doing all that fun stuff. Now it's as easy as grabbing all of them at the same time, and then you can pull up your clipboard, just click them, and you're able to rescale right then and there.
Well, there you have it, folks. Like I said, it's a lot of small things, but if you haven't gotten up to snuff on the latest and the greatest in the CabinetVision suite, it's never been a better time. If you have any additional questions about features and functions, speed improvements, bug fixes, anything like that, feel free to reach out to us. You can either reach out to your rep, you can reach out to us through the website, or you can email me directly on my YouTube channel. Till next time, I'm Spencer Baker, and this is CabinetVision Made Simple. Thanks for tuning in.